Man. Man. I tell you what. I don't know what the hell that was we just watched to wrap up Extreme Rules. I really, really don't. I'm baffled. I'm speechless. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am right now. That is pretty much where I am right now. We're going to try to make sense out of everything that just went down tonight. What's going on? You're checking out a Sunday night edition of the RCWR show, dropping Sunday night of July 19th, 2020. What is up, man? Lee Sanders here. Man, that was weird. That was weird on so many levels. I'm speechless right now. Is anybody else kind of speechless? Is anybody else kind of, what the hell was that? How do you make sense out of what we just saw there? But we're going to try to make sense out of that. I do have a poll right now asking you guys, what did you think about tonight's Extreme Rules pay-per-view event? Take your pick. Got a poll up on Twitter at the RCWR show. Also have a poll up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/the RCWR show. I want to hear from you guys. Those of you that saw the pay-per-view, I want to know what you guys had thought about what went down in that final moment there with that swamp fight match. Because I got to tell you, I was watching this with my baby, and, you know, we're both big Bray Wyatt fans. She's not exactly with the whole the Fiend thing. You know, she thinks it's kind of cool, but it's not really up her alley. But you know, she respects it. But, you know, we both were looking at this. I'm getting ready to set the show up and everything. I got the stream. I'm doing last minute preparations and everything. And we're both looking at this, we're scratching our heads. This was the first time, as long as we've been watching Bray Wyatt on this incredible journey that he's been on as the Fiend and everything, this was the first time that we had ever kind of looked at each other a little bit baffled, kind of going, what exactly are we watching here? You know, thought we were kind of... It's weird, isn't it? Because you look at the great psychological warfare and everything that had went down when Bray Wyatt had faced John Cena at WrestleMania. And, you know, you look at that and you go, okay, so you see somewhat of the same kind of elements going into this match Bray had against Strowman tonight. But there was just something in the water there that wasn't quite tasty, as good as the last time. I don't know if you guys can maybe put your finger on it, but yeah, that it just really left me walking away just kind of feeling like, my biggest takeaway from that was just basically, okay, so when it was all said and done, his smoking ace, Bray Wyatt that is, his smoking ace, he had the Fiend return. You know, it almost kind of reminded me, just seeing what went down with the Fiend resurfacing at the end, it almost reminded me of, anybody remember Dolph Lundgren in He-Man Masters of the Universe? And remember when he fought Skeletor that one last time, and basically Skeletor ended up falling off whatever ledge they were fighting on, and he went, you thought, okay, well, he obviously plunged to his death, and then you go through the end credits and all that shit, and at the end, you just see this eerie fucking dark water and everything. By the way, shout out to our Twitch audience. We're just now syncing in our Twitch audience automatically, so Twitch audience, welcome. You didn't miss that much. We just literally got started, but we're talking about the burning image that ended tonight's Extreme Rules pay-per-view, which was the Swamp Fight match. But you go through the He-Man credits at the end, and you got the eerie water, and then all of a sudden, Skeletor's face just pops up out of nowhere. I'll be back! And you're going, oh, okay, so there's going to be a part 2, apparently, even though we never got a He-Man Masters of the Universe 2. I was quite disappointed with that. I was hoping there would be a part 2. I was looking forward to the introduction of She-Ra and all that good stuff. But hey, you know, it is what it is. But that's what I kind of felt. And then what I also felt was, okay, so do we have a new WWE champion here? Or I'm really, really confused. This was one of those head scratching type of, well, wait a minute. Is it safe to say, let me ask you guys this. Is it safe to say that the title was not on the line? That it was just Wyatt, Strowman? It was just a swamp fight match? I just want to make sure I got my shit correct here, because I've been busy with work, so I've missed the past couple of weeks on SmackDown. Was the title even on the line in this swamp fight match? Because if the title was not on the line in this match, and it was just a straight up, hey, you and me, we're going to fight, we're going to have this swamp fight. Okay, cool, but still, what the hell did we just watch right there? That's my question to you guys. I'm going to put it on you. Please, you all, convince me what I just saw tonight was cool on so many levels, because I'm not shitting on it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on it in any type of way, but I'm left feeling very indifferent about what I watched tonight. So please, if you understood exactly what you had saw tonight, enlighten me and the rest of the listeners of what it was that we had bared witness to, so we could try to make sense out of all of that. Alright, so we're streaming on Twitch, we're also streaming on YouTube, we're also streaming on Facebook, we're also streaming on Periscope, aka Twitter. So just use keywords, the RCWR show. You can find us all throughout those respected outlets. WWE, I gotta give you guys mad props. You guys ended the pay-per-view at a decent hour. Anytime I'm able to go live before the 10 o'clock news comes on. Now, maybe it's 9 o'clock in you all's respective neck of the woods. I don't know. But here in the US of A, on the East Coast side, news usually comes on 10 o'clock, then 11 o'clock, then that's pretty much it. So anytime I'm able to do a pay-per-view recap before the 10 o'clock news comes on, that's a great fucking night for me. That's a great night. This pay-per-view basically began at 7 p.m. 6 p.m. there was a pre-show. And there was a pre-show matchup. It was Kevin Owens. He defeated Buddy Murphy. I sadly did not check that out. I actually was busy binging on Investigation Discovery. I was actually watching Web of Lies. I don't know if you guys remember the episode, but there was this one episode, me and the missus were watching it. It was the episode where there was a woman that things didn't quite work out, I think, with her and her husband, so they separated. He was always trying to make things work out, but for whatever respective reason, it just didn't happen. She went on, was trying to date other people. Those didn't quite work out. Long story short, there was some guy that she met on Facebook or some dating website. He didn't have a Facebook profile at first. And then finally, after a few days, one was generated. She goes out on a date with this guy. She ends up being missing. The people that she told about this date that she was having, they remember, oh yeah, we had saw his Facebook page because she showed it to us. And then when they went to go looking for the Facebook page, they could no longer find it. And it was kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? I won't spoil it for you guys, but if you never saw that episode, it's worth going out of your way to check out. So I was busy binge watching on a few hours of Web of Lies, and I sadly did not see the pre-show. By the time I remembered the pre-show was even on, it was pretty much time for the damn pay-per-view. So, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura having a tables match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Titles against New Day's Big E and Kofi Kingston. Folks, we got new tag team champions in Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Gotta tell you, this was a bit surprising for me. Definitely a bit surprising for me, because I was kind of under the impression just subliminally in the back of my mind, I was just kind of under the impression, okay, well, we already know Otis, he kind of has a plan right now. So you're kind of led to believe when he does cash in that briefcase, he's either gunning for a world title or, his buddy Tucker, come on, man, let's go cash it in on some tag titles. So, I was kind of under the impression right here that with regards to the New Day, just, in my mind, as far as perfect thinking goes, what kind of made a little bit of sense. Okay, if you really want to get Tucker and Otis over as a really badass, legit tag team and everything, want to really have them build up some serious cachet and everything, why not have them defeat a established tag team in the New Day? 8-time World Tag Team Champions. Okay, that's good bragging rights and everything, but that's not what happened. Not for nothing, but past several weeks on SmackDown, we have been seeing the increasing, trying to find the right word for it, but we've seen an increase in the utilization. I'll just go with that. That's the first thing that really comes to my mind. So whatever comes to my mind, that's what I'll go with. Past several weeks now, we've been seeing proper utilization more and more and more of Cesaro and Nakamura. And we saw some of the matches that they were having with New Day off and on, everything pretty much culminating to this, and we get new tag team champions in them and everything. I hope that, one, the tag titles is not going to go right back to New Day. I hope that at this point, New Day can have a little bit of a breather, and then we can slide in somebody new. I'm hoping that maybe a Otis and a Tucker can easily slide in there, and maybe those guys could eventually become the tag champions that way, whatnot. I think as far as some really good heels, taking on some really good lovable faces, and Otis and Tucker, I think that would gel pretty well on programming. What do you guys think? Let me know. Because, as far as Otis and Strowman, we can pretty much forget about that, right? The odds of that, I'm just not seeing it. In a perfect world, that would be pretty awesome. It would be pretty awesome, but it's safe to say, maybe it's going to be the tag time. Or, hey, who knows? Maybe Otis might have his eyes set on a IC title. Maybe it could be a US title, but just the way things are kind of going right now, you're led to the impression when it is cashed in, it's going to be on some tag titles. I got to tell you, Kofi Kingston, he's the MVP of the night. He is the MVP of the night. Because if you would have told me tonight, with regards to Extreme Rules, that somebody was going to be going through 2 tables stacked on top of each other outside of the ring, I would say to you, well, how exactly is this going to be done? Are they just going to, I don't know, be body splashed, or are they going to jump from a top turnbuckle and do some type of a frog splash or something through 2 tables? How exactly is that going to go down? And if you basically were to tell me, nah, there's going to be some fighting going on the top turnbuckle, and the person that's going to be going through those 2 tables stacked on top of each other, basically it's going to be like you could kind of call it a sit-down power bomb, if you will. Like, oh, okay. And it's going to be outside of the ring? Yeah, it's going to be outside of the ring. I'd be going, oh, well, I hope that person's neck and all of that, I hope all that's going to be on fucking point, because do that kind of wrong, you off even by a bit, that can be a serious injury right there for somebody. So if you would have told me that Kofi or just somebody was going to be going through a spot like that tonight, I would go, that's fucking crazy. And that's exactly what we saw tonight. And I couldn't believe that Kofi, of all people, I just couldn't believe. And Kofi has just, wow, over the years for me. He's wowed me over the years with some of the craziest shit that, I didn't think, wow, he did that? Like, damn, this was one of those, holy shit, dude, are you okay? Okay, good. Okay, don't do that again. It's like, don't do that again, please. It's not worth it. Don't do that again. That was the most insane spot of the night. By the way, With regards to the Kevin Owens Murphy match, barely came in at about 9 minutes. For the tables match for the SmackDown tag titles, that match came in barely at about 10 minutes. So pretty short right there. You know, honestly, I was expecting for this to go a lot longer. This particular match, I was hoping that maybe this match, because you got the right opponents in here. You know, if I could just kind of rub me just a little bit the wrong way, I wish that this match would have gone an additional 15. Actually, no, correction. 5 minutes is what I was trying to say, because I'm actually thinking a grand total of 15, maybe almost 20 minutes of a match. But for me, if this match could have gone an additional 5 to 7 minutes, I think that really, really would have been awesome. But for what it was worth, you know, it was good. I don't understand why they didn't add on a couple of more minutes to this match, because come on, listen to those names: Cesaro, Nakamura, New Day, Kofi. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those guys. So the fact that, you know, it was a 10-minute match, you know, but it was definitely entertaining. So for those of you that did not watch Extreme Rules tonight, as far as matches you definitely want to peep out off the break, I would definitely recommend you go out of your way and check out that tag match, the tables match for the SmackDown tag titles. Bayley taking on Nikki Cross, singles match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Almost clocked in at about 15 minutes. This was okay. This was actually okay. By the way, as far as predictions go, because I did offer predictions earlier in the week for this pay-per-view card, just looking at the matches, and I'm looking at the matches here. I didn't do too shabby. I think I got to go back and check, but I think I got about 2 or 3 wrong. 2 or 3 wrong, because I didn't know what the pre-show match was going to be. So really, you kind of got to just say 7 matches. So I got to go back and check, but it looks like I got either 2 or 3 of the matches off. But I mean, you know, that's relatively good. But Bayley taking on Nikki Cross for the SmackDown Women's title. As I mentioned a few seconds ago, this one clocked in at almost 15 minutes. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I mean, I'll ask you guys, were you all under the impression that we were going to be seeing a new champion there, a new SmackDown Women's champion there, and Nikki Cross? I just wasn't seeing it just yet. I just wasn't. And as I said when I was offering match predictions and everything, I told you guys, I said, man, this card looks pretty predictable to a certain extent. And the way I kind of looked past that was, well, hopefully the matches will be entertaining. And, you know, these two girls, they went in here and they did put on a rather entertaining matchup. I definitely got to give them a lot of props for that. They both did pretty damn good. Barely really coming into this, and for me, she really was the MVP of this matchup, I would have to say. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, y'all might not exactly feel that same way, but that's just where I feel. By the way, for those of you that's checking out this post show right now, especially live, and you're not checking out that Undertaker Tales from the Dead Man joint just yet, hey man, give yourselves a pat on the back. I love you guys tremendously, and I appreciate you guys that's checking out the joint live right now. I actually am going to be checking that out with the missus, and we will be reviewing that exclusively for our Patreon audience. As honestly, with the exception of the final installment in Undertaker's The Last Ride, which we made free for everybody to check out, ever since the Last Ride series had debuted, we exclusively reviewed it, talked about it all on Patreon. So as soon as I saw that they were doing another installment, I said, oh man, we definitely need to team up and talk about some of them stories that was being shared there. So with regards to Bayley taking on Nikki Cross there, closing moments of that matchup. Bayley had charged at Cross in the corner. Cross stepped to the side. Bayley slams a face first into the middle turnbuckle. Cross comes in, hits a neck breaker from the apron before heading back into the ring. Sasha Banks tries to hand Bayley the boss brass knuckles so she can use that and then distract the referee while Bayley punches Cross in the ribs. Bayley follows up with the rose plant, gets the 3 count. Bada boom, bada bing. Bayley retains the championship that way. Pretty good matchup. Pretty solid matchup. And let me rate these matches while I'm at it here. So let me just go back a second. I cannot rate Owens taking on Murphy because I did not see that one. But with regards to the tag team match for the SmackDown titles, from what I saw, so I was really starting to like it. I gotta give that one a... I gotta give that one a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10. It would have been a 7 if they would have went just a couple of more minutes. If they could have even at least went 4 minutes more, I could have given it 7 out of 10. But I gotta stay at 6 out of 10. For the SmackDown Championship match, I would give that one a... I mean, it was okay. It wasn't anything really that spectacular, right? For those of you that saw the pay-per-view, it wasn't really anything spectacular. I'd give it the same rating. I would give that a 6 out of 10. Undisputed Championship match. Apollo Crews defending the title against MVP. We got a shocker right here, as apparently Apollo Crews, we learned by the commentators here, was not medically cleared to compete. Apparently after he was attacked by Bobby Lashley last month on Raw. Again, let me repeat that. Apollo Crews was not medically cleared to compete tonight at the pay-per-view due to an attack that happened from Bobby Lashley last month on Monday Night Raw. Now, when you hear that, you kind of go, well, wait a minute now, wait a minute. And, you know, when exactly, if you're kind of thinking like I'm thinking in storyline, well, when exactly was Apollo Crews given this diagnosis exactly, and how come we didn't see a scenario play about where somebody could step in for Apollo as, you know, an interim champion, defend the title till, you know, he could come back or whatever. Interesting route that they took, because if you guys recall, when I had went into the predictions, I told you guys that somehow MVP was gonna win. So I kind of got to give myself partial credit, but I didn't lay it out the way that WWE ended up playing it out. If you guys kind of see me a little bit distracted here, I'm just scratching my leg. For those of you that's watching the webcast, I have a mosquito. You guys that were checking out the game show last night, because I think we were playing Marvel Future Fight for a couple of hours there. There's a fucking mosquito. I still haven't been able to kill it yet. It's still running around this motherfucker. I'm trying to get it, and yeah, it's I think it's been working on my legs so far, so I need some fucking spray. Anyway, so don't mind me if you kind of see me just kind of going, you know, I'm just scratching my fucking legs, my hairy ass legs at that. But yeah, so this was interesting. Okay, so you hear that and you're going, okay, so what's really going on with Apollo? And as I kind of alluded to on Twitter, I said, okay, is this WWE's way of kind of saying that Apollo Crews, maybe he's down with the COVID or something? You know, he couldn't pass the COVID protocol or something? You know, what's the 411? You know, what exactly is going on here? Did he have some type of a family emergency? You know, something personal you had to take care of? Why is it that, you know, hopefully we'll know a little bit more information as it comes about, but as I kind of alluded to when I was offering predictions here, I said with regards to this matchup, I said, you know, something about this doesn't seem right, because you got MVP introducing a new title. Okay, say Apollo Crews goes into this match and he wins. Okay, well, obviously WWE wants to have this be the new title going forward. They're not just going to make this championship just for the hell of it. Okay, so, you know, what do? You have Apollo win and he just looks at that title and disregards it? Or is he the type of face that's going to take that title and kind of rub it in MVP's face by pushing it? That doesn't exactly seem Apollo Crews like. It seems kind of out of character for this current incarnation we got of him right now. So for me, it made all the sense in the world that MVP was somehow going to win. Again, I'm giving myself partial credit for that one, but I didn't quite see the second half of that equation. So MVP, Lashley, they pretty much came out, and MVP just declared himself the new United States champion by forfeit since Apollo Crews didn't show up. So hopefully going into SmackDown, we'll know a little bit more information. We'll wait and see how that plays out. Probably one of the most stupidest booked matches of the entire night. Nothing personal, just stating the fact. Again, one of the most stupidest. Just it really was. It really was poorly booked. I won't say stupid match. That's a little bit harsh. Because they did try to entertain Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins. They did try to entertain. So I do need to give them that. Not for nothing, but whenever they're in the ring, they do their best to entertain. So I can't discredit them for that. But the way this was booked, sorry. I got to get on that ass. Eye for an eye match. So, Rey Mysterio.
Damn you, Seth Rollins, you took away my eye. Damn you.
So, this match, where do I even begin with this match? First off, God, I need to show you guys the one image that's floating around right now of this fucking match. I'm trying to see if I can find it. It was on my Twitter timeline. If anybody has Twitter, do me a favor. If you can find the image link where Rey Mysterio is holding his eye in his hand, supposedly, share that with me so I can try to pull it up in screen share here. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to fucking find it in a timely manner. Because when I did have it on my Twitter timeline here, it was ready to go. But now, like, more new tweets have been rolling in. So it's way back now. So I unfortunately cannot pull it up. But parts of what I did not like about this match, why I'm kind of sour on this right now. They're in this match. First of all, this should be a fight. This should be a fucking fight. And the way they opened it up was just right. You had Seth Rollins coming in there, and he's trying, he's in the middle of the ring. He's waiting on Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's music is playing and all that other shit. Rey Mysterio comes up from behind, and he's attacking him. Okay, that's great. And for the first couple of minutes, it's coming off like a fight. It's coming off like two guys that legitimately can't stand each other. It's coming off like a legit heated rivalry. Here's where we start to have some serious problems, though. Wrestling moves are actually executed in what is supposed to be, just a fight. Look, feel me for a second. If a motherfucker fucked your eye up, last thing you gonna be doing is going into this encounter with this individual that hurt your fucking eye, that blinded you in one eye. Last thing you're gonna be doing is taking it easy and, okay, let me just kind of dance around. Nah, you gonna fucking be going at that guy. You're gonna be trying to choke him out and all that other shit. So I really did not like the way that this match was booked. I did not. I gotta ask you guys. You guys, majority of you fans, you're smart as fuck, and I mean that in a respectful way. I'm sure you guys had heard leading up to this match. Oh man, this match between these guys, it's gonna be CGI. It's going to be CGI. Oh man, they're going to do something CGI with the eye. CGI. That's all we kept hearing. Remember that? That's all we kept fucking hearing. CGI. And, oh, by the way, forgive me there, guys. Forgive me there. I do see what you guys are saying in the chat, but bear with me a second here. For some reason, you all's chats are not popping up during the stream here. So give me a second here. Let me see if I can actually fix that for you guys right now. Bear with me a second here. Because I switched some things around when I was gaming last night. So hang on a second here. Chat box. Okay, hang on here. Chat box. And let's see. And what I'll do right now, I'll actually tweet out a test here. Let me see what's going on here. There it is. Okay, that's why. So let me bring this up a little bit. There you go, guys. Sorry about that. There we go. And let me just blow that up for you guys. Hang on. So I'm trying to show you guys some love, so bear with me a second here. For you guys that's going to be listening to the audio version, I'm just trying to edit the chat window box for folks. So that for you guys that's tuning in live, you guys can see what all is being said. Let's see here, play around with that. It's the one thing I don't like when I'm trying to adjust. When I'm trying to adjust shit, the calibration is way off here, man. All right, here. Okay, and then let me we need to shrink that just a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Bring it back. About right there should do it. All right, and then I'll just bring this on down for you guys about right here. Is that good? I don't think that's really too distracting for you guys that's watching the webcast. That's not really too distracting, is it? Man, that's pretty good. And especially if I said something like, let me do another test here. Test. I'm just going to do like a series, make a little jambalaya. That's not really too bad. I mean, if you guys need me to kind of move that around a little bit more, let me know. But I don't really think that's too bad, yeah? Actually, let me do this. Hang on, guys. I will move this the other way. Hang on. We can continue on with the show. Luckily, we ain't got that many more matches to talk about. Let's do it about... I think right there is good, right? You guys can read that, yeah? I think right there is good. We'll leave it right there. And if anything, we'll just move it down a little bit more. Like about right here. About right there. Oh, about right there. Okay. All right, yeah. So, shout out to some of you guys I had missed there. Hang on a second. Shout out to Dwayne. I see Dwayne Morris in the chat. Shout out to Robert. I'm seeing these via Facebook. Dwayne, with regards to the pay-per-view, I think in particular, and Dwayne, if I'm saying it wrong, please let me know. I think Dwayne was commenting on the part about the swamp fight match. And Dwayne, if I have that inaccurate, please let me know. But with regards to the swamp fight match, he felt that it was the worst that he had saw. Meanwhile, Robert had thought it was amazing. Dwayne followed up on his initial comment, and he said that for him, it made no sense whatsoever. Robert, on the other hand, begged to disagree. He felt that it was worth a rewatch in order to really make sense out of what all had played out. So, what do you guys think about what Dwayne and what Robert had said there? Please sign off on that, sound off. And as you guys can see, as the comments continue to come in, you're checking out the webcast, you'll be able to see what everybody's saying there. But the Eye for an Eye match there with Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins, it should have had more of a fight feel to it. This really should have been two guys just fucking the living shit out of each other, just fucking each other up. That's what it should have been about. And the fact that they were doing wrestling moves on each other, that just kind of took me out of the fucking loop altogether. But then when it comes time for, okay, so what's going on with this? Somebody's gonna get their eye out. We kept hearing all this shit about CGI, CGI, CGI. Do you remember what I had told you guys going into this match initially? Being consistent here. I said to you guys, look, this is what we're supposedly hearing. How about we just go into this match between these guys and let's just see how it all plays out and then judge from there. And then I also had said, well, not for nothing, but Undertaker summoning lightning bolts and all that other shit, you know, that was some type of form of CGI when it's all said and done. It's like, so, you know, you can't just shit on one thing, but, well, this other thing was just so fucking cool, you know, that's got to be, no, if you're going to be one way, you got to be consistent, do you not? So for me, my message to you guys was just, let's just go into this match and let's just see what happens. And we didn't see any fucking CGI shit that went down in this, did we? Not one fucking CGI thing. We did see, though, Seth Rollins, you know, he closed in on Rey Mysterio, final seconds of this bout, much like what he did to Rey Mysterio on Raw several weeks back to injuring that one eye. He did expose the patch of the mask. He did remove that part from Rey Mysterio's mask. Rey Mysterio's he did a good job as far as using the white contact lens, trying to make it look as though he is definitely blind in that right eye of his. Seth Rollins focusing in on that, and match was pretty much over. Rey Mysterio letting out a shriek like I don't know what. Seth Rollins puking. I wish I was making this shit up. Seth Rollins fucking puking. I guess at what he did, or the sight, maybe that was it. The sight of Rey Mysterio and the whole eye thing, and you just knew that was a whole Vince McMahon fucking thing. You know what would be really cool right here? What would be really cool right here is that once it's done, he puke. He's just so disgusted by the mere sight of seeing the man's eyes. Just, well, here's the problem with that. What was going on with the Seth Rollins from several weeks ago when he injured Rey Mysterio's eye? His whole thing was, it's the sacrifice, it was for the greater good, blah this, blah that. He went into this fight pretty damn confident, saying to Rey Mysterio, you're not going to be able to see your wife, you're not going to be able to see your son Dominic, you're not going to be able to see this, you're not going to be able to see that. What the fuck? So, I mean, that's just really, really fucking weird. What's going on there. Really fucking weird. And to Nor, ain't nothing much up. We're just kicking back. We're trying to make sense out of some of what we had saw at Extreme Rules. But it's kind of hard to get into this match. It really, really was. Really, really was. Also, WWE, where was the fucking blood? Where was the fucking blood? Seriously. To Nor, I can tell this is your first time because you're saying, can you tell me the results? You can go on Wikipedia and I'm not being a dick, so don't take it the wrong way. You can go on Wikipedia and you can get your speed reading that way. The way we've always done it on this show since 2011 when we talk about pay-per-views, we go by match. We try to make it be as quick as possible, but we really try to let this be about those that have saw the pay-per-view and get their reactions to what all had went down as well. So, I gotta give that match a 4 out of 10. Some of you guys may disagree with that, but I'm staying firm with that. I mean, the potential was definitely there, but they fucked up on so many levels with this matchup. If there was any match I would love to see be redone, it would be this one. One thing that I kind of find to be maybe somewhat of a saving grace, though. I think I may get my wish. I've been, for the longest time, been wanting to see Dominic, and I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this, but Dominic, not only has he been trained by his father, but he's also been trained by other folks. Noor, I got you, man. I appreciate the compliments, but hey, just kick back, relax. We're talking about the pay-per-view with folks. Yeah, I appreciate the compliments, but, I don't need no compliments right now. I just want to get through talking about the pay-per-view, get you guys' thoughts on the pay-per-view, and that's it. So just kick back, relax, interact with each other. Let me do my thing. Something that I've been getting my hopes up for, and I think we're now going to be able to see it. For the longest time, I've been trying to see Dominic get into action. And I kind of feel as though we're now finally going to be seeing that. Because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Dominic, not only has he been trained by his dad, but handful of other people, and he's been training now for a couple of years. I want to say at this point he's got about 5 years under his belt. So we've kind of gotten a little bit of a taste here, and you've heard me time and time again, not that often, but I've always said with regards to Dominic, I've been wanting to see him basically kind of like Robin and Batman, basically. At one point, Dick Grayson says to Batman, look, you've been doing this for a long time. Don't you think it's about time you pass on the cowl to somebody else? Mainly me. Like, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to take over. I think I'm ready to watch over Gotham City. And remember how, in the comics, Bruce and he's like, nah, he didn't want to go through the heartache and all that ultimately went down with the last Robin. And as we all know, eventually Dick Grayson went off and he became Nightwing and all that. So I'm hoping that with what went down tonight, this is now going to further propel Dominic. Okay, Dad, you relax. You've had a fantastic career here in the WWE. It's my time now. Let the next generation of Mysterio step up to the plate. I got this. I will be getting retribution for you. So that's where I think this next chapter is going to be going with regards to the whole Mysterio Rollins saga. And notice Dominic was there for his dad right at the conclusion of what went down there. So, but yeah, I got to give that a 4 out of 10. Gino, what's up, Gino? Gino said, I didn't watch the pay-per-view, only watched a little bit of the Eye for an Eye match. All I got to say is Rey Mysterio Jr. is all elite. Honestly, Gino, I hope that Rey Mysterio, because he came close some years back, but for whatever respected reason, things did not work out. I hope that Rey Mysterio actually goes to Impact Wrestling. I think that with everything that's going on with everything that's been going on with Impact Wrestling, especially after all the great buzz that has come about from Slammiversary, and the fact that Impact Wrestling has all of those international deals, outside of the US and everything, and the great relationships that they have with a lot of the independent promotions out there all over the place. I think Rey Mysterio, I think that would be a really, really good fit. And not for nothing, I'm not sure how many of you guys remember this, but remember Rey Mysterio's startup promotion, Aero Lucha? And I've been trying to do my best to stay on top of that, because I actually was trying to be an investor in that. No bullshit. I had signed up for alerts and everything, and I have not heard a peep from Aero Lucha. It feels like in a couple of years now. Definitely since Ray came back to the WWE. But before Ray came back to the WWE, I was hearing all things Aero Lucha. I'm telling you, if Rey were to go to AEW, I'm really not sure how friendly Tony Khan and them would be, knowing that Ray is trying to do what he's trying to do with Aero Lucha. I'm not trying to say they would frown upon it, but with them just trying to solely focus on establishing their brand, AEW really trying to build it up and everything, I'm just not really sure if they would be willing to give Ray that flexibility that he would need to really kind of flourish that promotion. Whereas I think Impact Wrestling would. They would. And to my point, I don't know if you guys remember this, but before Ray came back to WWE, if you had watched Impact Wrestling, way before they landed on Access TV, I can't remember what network they were on because they jumped around so much, but whatever the last network was before they went to Access TV, you saw commercials for Aero Lucha. So, I can't help but wonder, okay, and Ed Northholm, president, owner, Anthem Entertainment, which owns Impact Wrestling, he was already in play by then. So I can't help but wonder, hey, how's that relationship between Ray, Ed Northholm, and Anthem Entertainment? Could they still try to... I would not count out Impact Wrestling for Rey Mysterio. Just saying. It'd be so easy. And you think about the great matchups that Ray could have in AEW. No doubt about it. But the maximize potential. I mean, the schedule is definitely there for Ray and AEW and everything, but everything is even more laid back with Impact. And then just the fact that you had that somewhat of a beginning of a relationship there between he and Anthem, just kind of have that in the back of your head there. All right, next matchup. Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka defending the title against Sasha Banks. The fucking match. Another match I will point out to you guys. I know I had pointed out the SmackDown tag titles. This would be the other match I would say to you guys. Go out of your way. Peep this. Congrats. My hat's off. Literally, if I was wearing a hat right now, I would take it off. My hat's off to Asuka and Sasha Banks. That was a hell of a classic matchup. Really had a great pay-per-view feel to it. I know some people were kind of looking at the finish of this and they were going, oh man, that's a horrible finish. Well, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Okay, so let's set this up properly. So towards the end of the match, Sasha Banks and the referee, they're jawing off and everything at each other. Sasha wants the ref to do a better job and everything, and the ref is basically saying to her, and you're taking it a little bit too far. Watch yourself. You're close to getting DQ. So, yeah, a little bit of a distraction that was going on and everything. Sasha Banks, she tried to take the championship belt, and she was trying to use it on Asuka, and that's pretty much where the ref stepped in, and that's really where things had popped off and everything. Now, meantime, you had Bayley. Bayley tried to take advantage of, what all was going on, and, she tried to do a little bit of a cheap attack on Asuka, trying to help out her homegirl and everything. Didn't quite pan out. So you see a series of near fall counters and everything. I mean, it was beautiful, the way that they had set everything up. Sasha, ref, they're pretty much getting into it once again. If I remember it right, I believe Bayley tried to do a little something. Asuka negated that. She's gunning for Sasha. She tries to spray that trademark green mist into Sasha's face. Sasha, kind of sensing what was getting ready to go down, she misses that. Referee act like he got shot. I mean, just imagine that, splash water in your face, you just, ref is just down on the fucking ground and everything, act like he got shot and everything. So, he's pretty much out of the equation. Bayley looks at this as her cue. She gets into the ring. She fucking rips the fucking referee shirt off the ref. while the ref just magically rolls out of the ring, disappears. Bayley decides, all right, this is my opportunity. I can help out my girl. Bayley puts Banks on top of Asuka, does a fast 3 count, demands the timekeeper to ring the bell, declares that Sasha Banks is the new Raw Women's Champion. Now, I know how some people can look at that and they go, man, that was a horrible finish. What the fuck? Well, if you've been following the story arc that's been going on with these girls, they've been digging down deep and using whatever dirty tactics are at their disposal to get the upper hand on their opponents. So this fits them. This fits them perfectly. The other thing that you got to remember is with the way that this had ended, a great match that ends on this note, you're going, well, wait a minute. Surely this is not going to stick. How can Bayley just insert herself like that? That doesn't... How can she? Where's the WWE officials, the authority figures, when you need them to let us know what the deal is? So, see, if you're going to home in on this one, and you're going to shit on that spot, then you got to be consistent, and you got to shit on the joint with MVP declaring himself the new United States champion. You got to be consistent. You've got 2 angles right there that I just mentioned where you're going, well, wait a minute. All right, I'm kind of curious. Now, I got to watch WWE programming this week because we've got self-proclaimed champions. How is this going to be rectified here? Surely this is a load of bullshit. I got to tune in and find out because nowadays, you're watching these shows, the inmates are running the asylum, correct? So you're going to watch now out of curiosity to see, surely this is not going to stand up. So, no, on the contrary, I actually didn't mind the finish of this. I had no problem with it whatsoever. No problem with it whatsoever. Good match. I would give Asuka, Sasha Banks, I would give this match, and these girls went a little bit over 20 minutes. I would give this one a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Definitely an 8 out of 10. Next one. We finally found out what Dolph Ziggler's stipulations were for his match against Dolph Ziggler. This was pretty much a one-sided Extreme Rules match for the WWE Championship. Ziggler revealed that the stipulation for this match would be Extreme Rules for him only, not for McIntyre. In addition, if McIntyre gets DQ'd, if he gets counted out, if McIntyre decides, you know what, actually let me do the voice, you know what, I've changed my mind. I don't think it'd be right for the fans to see me wrestle under these conditions. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go back to my hotel. I'm gonna think deep and hard while I'm looking at myself in the mirror, admiring my handsome looks and physique. And maybe I'm gonna get down and dirty, call up my woman, see if I can have some hot, passionate, fun sex before rolling over and going to bed for the night, before I have to wake up in the morning and go to the Performance Center for Raw, where I can once again entertain the men and women all around the world. Your hands touching that TV, my hand touching that camera monitor. You and me, we're all in this together. Whatever. If he does any of that weird, stupid shit, he sneezes, he farts, the title changes hands, it goes to Dolph Ziggler. That basically was the fucking stipulation in this. So, you go like this, you're going, okay, nice stacked deck, okay, let's see how this plays out. Honorable mention, this was a good match. I really got to give honorable mention, and if you checked out the last show where I was offering preview predictions, did I not say, hey, on paper, these guys should have a good match? Really shouldn't be that much of a problem. My whole thing to you guys, though, I said, look, I said, we know McIntyre's going to come out of this with a W. We know that. The real question was, how entertaining is this match going to be? With those stacked stipulations, it did make the match entertaining. It did make it worthwhile. I actually went into this match after hearing the stipulations. I actually went into this thinking, well, shit, Ziggler just may pull off an upset here. If there was ever a match where, put an asterisk by it and say, well, that's a twist, that's a shocker, you could put one definitely on this match. And everything really seemed to have been working in his favor there. But pretty much, match ends with a Glasgow kiss. Ziggler tried to fight that off a couple times. There was one time where he fought it off, countered with a famouser, then did a Uranagi onto a chair. I mean, he was just on a flurry of offense, and at one point he just screams at fucking McIntyre when he keeps getting the near falls. Why would you die? Fucking hilarious. He then tries to go for the sweet chin music. McIntyre counters into the Claymore kick. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty much it. That match went about close to 15 minutes. I'd give that match 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I can't go any higher. I definitely will not go any lower because it's not deserving of a lower rating. It was an entertaining matchup for what it was worth. We already talked about the Wyatt Swamp Fight match. Unless there's more stuff I need to add to that, you guys let me know. But coming out of this, you got some nice setups for Raw and SmackDown this coming week. Once again, with what happened there with the Swamp Fight, okay, so one, is Bray Wyatt still alive? Or did somebody die without us knowing in a sea of crocodiles there in the swamps? You know, well, because I'm kind of under the impression, and them wasn't just any old swamps. That was the Louisiana Bayou. You know, so, you know, what exactly was going on there with those swamps? Have we seen the last of Braun? You know, what's up? Obviously, Wyatt is continuing to play the psychological games. I mean, seriously, did anybody think we had officially seen the last of the Fiend gimmick? I didn't think so. I called this a mile away several weeks back. I said, man, it's kind of weird that Wyatt, just Bray Wyatt, Firefly Bray Wyatt, is fighting Braun Strowman when this should be the Fiend. That should be, because the Fiend would fucking own Bray Wyatt. And just what's going on here, you know, at least Act 1, Act 2, now we're going to Act 3 is obviously the Fiend now is back. I got the fucking Fiend dethroning Strowman at SummerSlam. Calling it right now. By the way, we had got a plug for SummerSlam. SummerSlam's going to be happening Sunday, August 23rd. Can't wait for that. Should be pretty damn good. But yeah, you got that story arc that's going on. What's going on with that? What's going on with that Raw Women's Championship? Got that needs to be straightened out. MVP self-declaring himself the fucking new United States champion. Okay, so what's going on with that? Is that gonna be continue to officially be recognized now? You know, we gotta watch Raw to find out. What's going on with Apollo Crews? Will Apollo Crews be coming back to action? You know, or is it going to be a case where he's going to be out longer than 30 days? Because if he's going to be out longer than 30 days, obviously you're going to have to figure out something there, right? They still do that type of shit in NXT. So if they can do that in NXT, you're kind of expecting them to do that as well on the main flagship shows, right? So you got that little bit of a mystery to figure out as well. What's next for New Day? Seemed as though New Day was kind of getting back to the promised land there, but now they're no longer the tag champions. It's always good when you see stuff like this happen with the New Day, because you can just go, man, is this the beginning of the is this the beginning of the end for the New Day? ... Curious minds want to know. So you got that's going on. Remember Shayna Baszler? She just came back. So what's going on with Shayna Baszler? Who is she going to be looking to take her aggressions out on in order to fight her way back to becoming the baddest bitch in WWE. Bianca Belair. A whole lot of stuff that, you know, we actually get to look forward to this coming week. So let's go to those polls now, because I want to know what you guys had thought about the pay-per-view. Hey, we did pretty good. We did roughly about an hour and 4 minutes. So we did pretty good there so far. You guys enjoying the show? If you are, do me a huge favor. However you're checking this out, the webcast, hit the like. Definitely do the subscribe. Share all that. You're checking it out via Fight TV, YouTube, however you're checking it out. Just make sure you hit the like, you know, all that good stuff. It helps. Helps those algorithm gods go, oh, you like this? Okay, well, we're going to let other people know that are into wrestling and some other stuff. Check this shit out right here. It's good. Appreciate that in advance. And of course, for those of you that's going to be checking out the audio version, love you guys tremendously. Appreciate the love and support as always. We got some Patreon shout outs we got to get to as well. First things first, let me get into the Patreon shout outs, and then I want to see what's going on with the polling results, because we've yet to do that. So definitely stick around so you guys can hear about the polling results. Also, if you guys want to sound off one more time about the pay-per-view, you can go in the comments and you can sound off that way. Let me know. If anybody wants to come on live on the air and talk about the pay-per-view, what they thought about it, let me know, because we can patch you into the Discord and we can have you sound off that way about what you had thought about the pay-per-view. But Patreon shout outs, patreon.com/RCWR show. Good water. Check out bonus audio video content you won't be able to find anywhere else. I am going to be sitting down probably tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing some content for Patreon. So be on the lookout for that, Patreon listeners. Shout out to Gino. Shout out to Sean Kenter. Shout out to Justin Rostock. Justin, thank you for the candy. The candy is on the way. I am so happy. Shout out to John Davis. Also shout out to Michael Wolf. Special shout out to my amigo Tony Bing Gaming. Tony Bing Gaming. Tips, news, tricks, walkthroughs, reviews for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel Strike Force, Marvel Super War. He's also covering the upcoming game Marvel's Avengers by Square Enix. Man, have I got a video that I will be sharing with you guys of some exclusive gameplay footage for that upcoming game. It's going to be dropping in September, if I'm not mistaken, but they're going to be rolling out the betas in August. I'll have all the info on the Monday night show, but make sure you join me for that. We got about at least 3 minutes of some great fucking footage. Fucking badass. Can't wait to show it to you guys. Yeah, patreon.com/RCWR show. Little as $5 a month. Get access to boatload audio, video content. By the way, while we're still live on the air, if anybody wants to do a super chat, greatly appreciate it. Help support the show. Have no idea. Appreciate super chats. Patreon members, love you guys. Let's go to the polling results now. Let's see what you guys have to say with regards to the pay-per-view here. Going to Twitter here. Amanda gave the pay-per-view a thumbs down. I always like when I see people that respond with comments. I just want you guys to just go with the polling results. Just let me know how you guys feel about the pay-per-view by doing the whole polling thing. But I like still seeing some of the comments that's coming in from you guys. All right, let's see here. Go on to Twitter here. Let's look at the polling results. All right, so amongst our own followers at the RCWR show on Twitter, 32.1% of you gave the pay-per-view a thumbs up. Meanwhile, 67.9% of you gave the pay-per-view a thumbs down. Now, this same poll was issued to WWE's official Twitter account for its respective followers. 39.7% gave the pay-per-view a thumbs up. Meanwhile, 60.3% gave it a thumbs down. Very telling tale there, is it not? All right, let's go to YouTube. Let's look at the results there. I've got it reloading here because it's been a while. Let's see what you guys are saying on YouTube, and pick a polling joint and vote. You can go on youtube.com/the RCWR show, click on the communities tab, cast your vote that way. And if you're subscribed to YouTube, make sure you click all notifications. That way you'll know anytime I'm posting something in the communities tab, I'm doing a story joint, whatever, you'll always know. I should have plugged it a lot earlier in the show, so you guys got to forgive me. But right now, early votes that's coming in, and respectfully, that's right, because I didn't plug it earlier. I'm seeing 100% of early votes are giving the pay-per-view a thumbs down. So for the sake of the argument right now, we can safe to assume that the gauge on Twitter is definitely pretty accurate right now. But you don't have to spam out. Either do YouTube or do Twitter, and we'll definitely follow up Monday night on what you guys had said, because I will revisit the polling results one more time, and I'll add some final thoughts to Extreme Rules and everything. Now, overall, with regards to Extreme Rules, considering the ratings that I had gave for the pay-per-view and everything, for the matches, overall, I would have to give this pay-per-view... overall... Let me look at this. Let me look at this card one more time here, because that's how I gotta look at it. I gotta look at the card here. If I never have to see Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss again, I'd be so happy. They're just not doing it. They're not clicking for me. They're just not clicking. Let's see. Billy Kay and fucking Peyton Royce got more cachet. They got more stock right now. I'm actually, I can't believe I'm saying this in 2020. I'm actually more interested in them than I am of Cross and fucking Bliss. How weird is that? Is that weird? I hope not. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna overall, 1 being the shit, 10 being awesome sauce, I'm gonna give the pay-per-view an overall rating of 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Yeah, a lot of parts during this pay-per-view, I gotta be honest, I just kind of felt a bit bored out of my mind. I kind of felt, it's on. You know, that's how I felt. The only times where I was actually excited is going to this matchup. Sasha and Asuka, I just knew they were gonna fucking deliver a classic. For what it was worth, I actually enjoyed the tables match for the SmackDown tag titles. I found myself pleasantly enjoying the Extreme Rules match for the WWE Championship match. And other than that, it was just, I'm here. I'm a bit bored. It is what it is. Taking a look at what you guys are saying in the chat one more time before we get ready to wrap up for tonight. Let's see. All right, so we are good. We're good. Okay, look, if nobody wants to be patched in live and share some thoughts on the pay-per-view, then on that note, I will say, look, we are good to go on that note. We did about, what, an hour, 15 minutes at this point? How we're doing on clock time here? Let's see how long we've been recording here. So I'm seeing about an hour, 13 minutes. So we did about like almost, this is like the fastest fucking pay-per-view recap that like I've ever done. I gotta say, it's been a good minute. It's been a good minute. I'm happy. I'm happy. Yeah, with regards to the Slammiversary review, Gino, I actually had tried to order Slammiversary as soon as I got in from work because I was actually going to watch it. I was going to watch the encore and I was going to do a review, but my respected cable satellite provider, they're not letting me order anything right now. And my account is up to date. So I have been busy with work and I really truly did not get a free moment, not really until after I got in from work yesterday. So I'm going to be talking to my cable slash satellite provider, Verizon Fios. I'm going to be giving them a call, finding out what's going on, how come I couldn't order the pay-per-view. Because as it stands right now, as far as future showings for Slammiversary, that was it. The only showing I was seeing was what had aired last night. So sadly, no review for Slammiversary, which sucked. Because I got to tell you, the price tag of $39.99, that was pretty, but I had tweeted folks, hey, what's going on with Slammiversary? What do you guys make of it so far? I'm pretty sure I'm going to be watching the replay, but, you know, I was just trying to gauge people, and a lot of people were going, oh, it's great, it's fantastic, blah this, blah that. And I already, and Gino could probably vouch for this, I was already toying around with the idea on Patreon of bringing back Impact Showdown. And for those of you newer listeners, Impact Showdown was a show, just as it sounds, weekly I covered Impact Wrestling. And when they went through the bullshit that they went through, I just said, okay, I'm fucking done. But I've really been enjoying what they've been doing these past couple of months, to the point I have seriously been thinking about bringing it back. The only thing is, if I were to bring it back, that would be a Patreon exclusive. So I think what may ultimately end up happening, I don't know if I'll do it this week. I'm 60% I might do it this week. But I might do like a test run of Impact Showdown for Patreon and kind of go from there. Just kind of retesting the waters once again and kind of go from there. But rest assured, the next time that Impact does do a pay-per-view, I'm definitely going to be checking it out. I kind of heard about all of the surprises that had came about from Slammiversary this weekend, and just based off everything that I've heard about Slammiversary, all the great feedback, a lot of positive feedback that came from that pay-per-view event, sounds like it went over better than Sunday's Extreme Rules. That should tell you a lot, folks. So if you have not been checking out the Impact Wrestling product for God knows how long, like I said, I've been covering it on the Wednesday shows past couple of months now, and I've been giving it nothing but praise. I've been giving it nothing but praise. I would strongly advise you guys, especially if you're getting a little bit tired of what's going on with the main flagship shows from WWE, with the exception of NXT. I would highly encourage you guys for a different alternative on top of NXT and AEW. Check out what's been going on with Impact Wrestling. What the hell else have you got to lose? I mean, there's really no excuse. You can watch it for free on Twitch. I believe they're still streaming on Twitch, unless I know their Twitch channel had gotten in trouble a couple of months ago, but I think that's been resolved. If not, let me know. But last I heard, they were streaming new episodes on Twitch, and then you can also watch the episodes on Access TV. So check it out. If I am going to be doing Impact Showdown on Patreon this week, I'll definitely let you guys know for sure. We'll see. It just depends on how I'm feeling, work schedule and all that. I got my work schedule for this coming week. Sadly, I will not be with you guys this Wednesday night after NXT and AEW is off the air, because they got me working that night. So we're going to have to, next show, after the Monday night show, next time we'll be on the air is going to be on Thursday. Monday show is going to be pretty good, so make sure you tune in for that. We'll just talk about Raw, just letting you guys know right now. We're going to talk about Raw, but we're going to spend a great majority of the time talking about what was going on with Joey Ryan, who has been making waves left and right with a 1 hour fucking video. You haven't checked it out yet, go on YouTube, just type in Joey Ryan video. You'll know it when you see it. Get yourselves ready for that. We'll be talking a big majority of the show about that whole Joey Ryan thing, because really not that much has been going down in between the shows here. So tune in on that. And we'll probably, on that Monday night show, after we get done with all of that, I'll probably have this post show be attached at the very end of the Monday show for those of you that's trying to check it out on demand and on the downloads. That's probably how we'll do it, most likely. So on that note, that's it. I'm going to take a brief pause. I will probably be back in about 30 minutes. I'll be doing some more Marvel Future Fight. So if you want to, hang back, shoot the shit for a little bit, I'm definitely down. I'll have everything be open. Again, I'll be back in about 30 minutes, give or take. So that's it. Please make sure you show support. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use the keywords The RCWR Show. Definitely subscribe, all that good stuff. By the way, cannot thank you guys for new Twitter followers, new subscribers. Appreciate you guys tremendously. Hope you all have been enjoying the content thus far and you enjoy the ride. Just continue to enjoy the ride. All right. That's going to do it for everybody that tuned in live. Much love. Everybody's going to be checking this out on demand and on the downloads. Appreciate the support as always. And until Monday night, after Raw, wishing you guys be safe and most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go round. Adios!